Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So here's the clip of my first, second, third, and fourth entry of one trade setup that I took yesterday to today. Right, so here's the clip. It's 3 minutes long, and then after that I'll be explaining my whole setup. Alright. So this is the screenshot proof of my first entry, first out of four entries that I took yesterday, right around 9:34 a.m. Right, so market had just opened at 9:30, so this was a little bit after 9:30. I had just opened my first position here, as you guys can see, and I had a pending stop right underneath this level of support here that was being maintained, right? So previous level of support was right over here on the left. It became resistance and then had a small level of support over here, right? So I knew the possibility of the trade, and I knew it would take some time because it had just hit the 23.6 fib mark, and then I knew that possibly it could go up to the 38.2, and I was willing to add one more trade over here at the 38.2. But if he had given me confirmation for a buy above 38.2, I would have accepted the loss because I was going short, right? And this is a penny stop over here that I had at 39,800. If the price had dropped below this level of support and below the 0% fib line, I was waiting for price to come all the way down to the negative 27.3, and then maybe lower to this level of support right here on the left, right? So this is the first screenshot. This is the second screenshot. This is around 9:08 today. So this is basically almost 24 hours after my first position that was right over here. So I ended up taking another position when price was coming down here because I just thought the market was going to drop more. It didn't, so I entered my second position over here, right? So following that, market came up. It didn't hit the 38.2, but price came all the way down again, and I wasn't satisfied. I was like, yeah, hey, let me wait a little bit more because I really believe in this trade. We had a very, very bearish momentum here. I know this is gonna pull down more, right? So I was just waiting. Price started to come up. This was around, I believe like last night, I believe. And then this was right around, I took out the fib, but this was right around the 38.2 mark, right? So I decided to make an entry right over here. A couple minutes after that, I decided to do another entry, right? I knew my risk, and I knew that my stop loss was right around this high over here. If price had broken this high and then started to do some bullish momentum, I would have closed and accepted my loss, right? So price just started reversing on the 38.2, and then this was today morning. Price had just gotten back to this level of support over here on the left that I had that became resistance. Here it was just, the news and everything yesterday, and price was just coming back to break even. I was still holding both of these trades in profit. This first trade was around break even, and then this was at a loss, right? So this is the second screenshot, and now let's get down. Let's go back to the video and analyze the whole setup, right? So let me show you how it all started. All right, so first I took a position from this fib. I took my first short from this fib, from right over here, from this level of support to this level of resistance, right? It's all recorded. It's in my last video. So I took a short right over here. I ended up closing before the 50% line, but this trade went all the way down to the 61%, and then price reversed after that and came back to the same level of resistance here on the left, right? So this came back to the resistance, made a candle confirmation for a sell, and then price just dropped all the way until maintaining the support, right? I was hoping price would come to this level of support right here on the left, maybe do, a reversal from here and then come up, but it actually broke this level over here on the left and started a new form of support right here, right? So price ended up going sideways for a bit, and that's when I entered, my the fib, right? So support and resistance right after that is the fib. So I placed my fib from this high to this low over here, but let me go wide so you guys can understand how the fib works and everything, right? So from this high to this low, let me fix this right there. So I took my first entry right over here, as you guys saw on the previous clip. And then my second entry right around here, I basically thought that price was going to drop and fall from yesterday morning, but it didn't. I ended up having also another position right over here, a sell stop, and I decided to close because I needed the leverage to open a position when price went higher, right? So price ended up coming all the way to the 38.2 over here and started to give me confirmations for a sell, right? This candle here, this bearish doji is what I call it. And following that was like a red candle with a red candle. And I'm like, hey, I need to enter the market again. So I took 2 more positions right over this area on the 38.2 fib, right? So just to explain to you guys, I went from this high to the low over here. And then the 38 is also a level of reversal, same as if I go from the 1 to the 0 to the 61.8, they are both level of reversals, right? So this is why I waited for my trade to play out. And as you guys can see right now, this is open live market, 2:40, almost 2:45 p.m., right? So I took my first entry around 9:35, 9:34, and then the second entry maybe around like 9:40, and these two I took last night around 9 and 9ish, and then 10 p.m., right? So this was my third and fourth trade for one setup, right? So this was a whole one setup. I didn't go with longs over here. Some people, they would, trade their way up and then after that trade their way down. I just had to hold my position for more than 24 hours for my trade to play out, which that's okay, right? So price came all the way down here this morning. This was around 8 a.m. and I wasn't going to close because I really believed that price was going to come and break this 27.3, and then even more coming down to this level over here on the left, and then right where we are right now to this level over here on the bottom, right? As I showed you guys on the previous clip, it was all documented before I had my third and fourth position. I knew that if price came down to these levels, it would tap all of these levels over here down, right? So this is where we are right now. As you guys can see, the price tapped, and I'll explain why I didn't waited all this time for my trade, right? So price was around 9 a.m. over here, right? And then it started to come up into the 23.6, right? So I'm like, all right, so if price breaks this high, which is where I was going to hold for my stop loss, was right above this high, I was going to hold until price came all the way here, gave a confirmation for a buy, and then of course I was going to close and accept my loss, right? So price came down to the 23.6, and I was waiting for price, to reverse again. So during this candle, price just shot all the way down, and then when it closed, I was waiting for the close. I was hoping this candle would have closed just like this one on the right, like this, so completely 100% red, engulfing all the ones on the left. But when I saw that price closed above this level of support, I knew that the next candle we were going to push up, right? Because if price is holding the support, means that the support is strong enough for price not to come down, and we're probably going to go long. So this is when I decided to close. I closed right over here around the 39,800 mark, right? And of course I was in profit, but it wasn't where I wanted to be, which was the negative 27.3, and then these three levels over here down, right? But we had news at 2 o'clock, so about 47 minutes ago. Price came all the way over here to the 23.6 again, and then news came and just dropped price all the way down to my first take profit, and then second and third, right? So this my last thing that I had to say was patience, right? I needed patience for this trade to play out. Even though I closed right around here, I could have made a bunch more money, just around 200, more than 200 points drop, right? So I just waited for this trade to play out, and that was my trade, my swing trade, basically a more than 24-hour trade, right? So comment down below what you guys thought of this trade, and hit the like button and the subscribe